Fingers crossed.
Well, I'm going to be outside protesting. That's what I'm going to be doing.
I'm going to be raping. I'm going to rape even twice as much as I normally do to make up for it. Guys, we have maybe a slight technical issue. I can't remember whether I fucking erased the last show off the SD card or not.
So we might not even be recording?
No, we're recording, but it might just cut off at any minute. But here's the thing. We don't have Stav here, so we don't have to worry about it.
Because his laughs require more memory.
Well, he's so fat that he takes up more space on the SD card.
Memory card.
A lot of people don't know that about fat people, but any kind of technology that is like they need heavy-duty keyboards because they're fucking huge fingers.
They need bigger hard drives for their computers.
Yeah,
because they're for the fat.
Yeah, it also keeps the crumbs out. He can't help himself but eat at the fucking computer. And it'll be weird to see if we can fill an hour without Stav just calling someone a gay bitch and then laughing for 5 minutes.
Really? I think that's about 35% of our content as it stands.
I want to take an episode and just edit it down to Stav's laughter. And
just a supercut of Stav laughing?
Yeah.
That'd be so funny. Like an hour supercut?
Yeah.
That'd be amazing.
And see how long it goes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's great. I think it's like makes the show a lot better.
It makes it easier to do, certainly.
For me.
It makes you feel funnier.
For sure.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't laugh for anyone.
Right, I don't either. People have accused me of being, retarded or autistic.
No. I watched, speaking of Inside the Actors Studio, Dave Chappelle said he never laughs. So,
yeah.
So we're cool.
So I'm like Dave Chappelle.
We're basically Dave Chappelle.
Very similar to Dave Chappelle. You know what? I did. I had a callback for a commercial audition this week, and so you go to a commercial callback and everyone looks like you. You're going for the same role, so that's really all it is. It's like you have the same look as somebody. And guess who I saw at the callback for the role that I was going, which was just like some bullshit, like an energy company, for the same role as me. Aaron, the UCB rapist.
No.
Yeah, he's there. He's like checking in and stuff. And
how's he doing?
Well, he came up. He was like, he saw me. He's like, "How's it going?" And I was like, "Probably better than it is for you." And he's like, "No, I'm doing okay, actually." I was like, "Are you?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then I don't know. He mentioned some legal stuff that's going on. And I don't know if I can.
Probably should.
Yeah, he already has a lawyer, so people knows that he's like, I guess, suing
guilty.
them. Yeah, right. He's guilty. Yeah.
He got a lawyer, so that means he's guilty.
Well, check this out. He got Atticus Finch. Have you heard of this guy?
Oh,
he's
no.
Great.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Is he the guy that rhymes all the?
Yeah.
That's the best thing about Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Is that he was singing rhymes.
Yeah.
That's how he got people off because like cool.
If the dick's too small, you can't enclose him in walls.
Yeah,
you can't put him in jail.
That convinced me.
If the pussy ain't toe up, then my man, you can't stow up. You gotta let him go.
Yeah. Something like that.
It is called the Johnny Cochran, aka the whoever smelt it dealt it principle of jurisprudence.
I think they teach that class in law school.
Yeah, at Harvard Law.
Yeah.
Whoever smelt it dealt it, and if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. But yeah, no, I saw Aaron the rapist there. And then, it was a bummer about it. I thought I was booked to do Star Wars related stand-up.
This is really embarrassing, Nick.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's embarrassing. Well, here's the story is I get a message.
Well, it's not embarrassing. It's just really like I can imagine how you're feeling right now. I would feel like crap.
I mean, I didn't want to do it. It would have just been bizarre.
It would have been so funny.
It would have been so much money.
Is it still the same amount of money?
No, it's for some fucking guy's birthday. Anyhow, somebody messages me and they say, and they're like, and it's somebody I trust. They're like, we need somebody to do 15 minutes of Star Wars material at Anna Wintour's birthday party.
For a lot of cumboys who probably don't know who that is.
The editor-in-chief of Vogue. She's the mean bitch from Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
So that character is entirely based on Anna Wintour.
Right.
And
she always wears sunglasses.
Yeah, and I was like, why the fuck? I mean, yes, of course I'll do it. And I'm like, I don't even have... The guy who hit me up, he was like, I just heard you mention Star Wars on your podcast, so I figured I'd recommend you. Because
Did we mention Star Wars?
Yeah, I said something about the new one,
Chinese.
the Chinese new one.
That was very funny, actually. Now that I remember.
Well, I was trying to riff stuff out, and I started doing Black Comic talking about C-3PO.
Oh yeah.
Which that might even be too racist for bonus content, but that's, you know.
Oh yeah.
Black Comic is the best.
Of course, I mean, I was personally raised as a kid on Comic View and Def Comedy.
Yeah.
That was the first stand-up.
That's the thing you're kind of spoiled by in DC is there's so many good, like, black comics.
Where is that scene in New York?
I don't know, probably in the Bronx.
We used to like come into contact with like the urban scene all the time in DC.
The urban scene's great because it's like they're the funniest fucking people in the world.
Oh, hilarious.
But there's nothing marketable about them. There's no way. Dude, that fucking Lawrence Owens bit about the glasses. Have you seen it? He's like, I can't be no thug because I got an astigmatism. You can't be no thug with no big ass glasses. And then he's just crossing his eyes. And he's like, where's the M word I'm supposed to murder? And he's like getting up close to the mic stand and staring at it with his eyes crossed. He's like, this him right here. It's the funniest shit, dude.
First of all, astigmatism does not mean you're cross-eyed.
Yeah, I don't know.
Second of all, that's incredible.
Yeah, he had like the best act outs and shit. Lawrence was always hilarious.
Well, that's the thing is like I feel like in urban comedy, people are performing, you know?
Right.
And like white boy comic book comedy that like we come into contact with.
You're supposed to act like a bitch.
You just stand there, you hold the mic stand. Personally, I don't know what to do
notes on stage
with my hands when I'm on stage.
In urban comedy, not only like first of all, if your suit has less than 9 buttons on it, you're already unprofessional.
Of course.
Can you imagine if you brought your notes on stage?
No.
How fucking unprofessional that is.
Oh, no way.
I want to blend both the worlds and get like a purple American Apparel hoodie that's way too big and has 19 buttons on it. I'm going to be the black hipster comedian.
The black comic book.
Yeah.
What's up, nerds?
Yeah. Woo! Y'all like Batman? Let me get a motherfucking... what does Batman say?
That dude, Alex.
That'd be a great,
Alex Starr.
Yeah, that'd be a great character, like the urban comic that's trying to rejuvenate his career, so he becomes like a meltdown guy.
A nerd comic.
Yeah. Woo! You know I can't get no damn days. You know I can. Pizza for breakfast? What is adulthood? Somebody tell me what adulthood is.
So I just joined Tinder.
Yeah, I'm on Tinder now. Look, I like comic books. I'll admit it. I like comic books. The whole crowd.
So sue me.
What's going on with you?
Nothing much.
All right, so
I got a cold from like a group sex experience. My immune system's literally too Jewish to like. There's too many orifices.
It's always a humble brag. Every time any kind of thing, it's like, oh, I hurt my dick fucking 9 people at once.
Yeah, I guess it's a humble brag.
That is a humble brag.
Well,
what a roundabout way.
Let me tell you something. You know, a dream of mine my entire life is, 2 girls fooling around.
2 girls at the same time. Office Space. 1999. A classic.
Yeah.
Please don't look up what your Office Space
I never want that ever again.
What, a group sex thing?
Mm-mm.
Was it bad? Was one of the girls Brandon Mordell?
No. No. Neither of the girls were Brandon. But it was just too much anxiety. I felt like if I was paying too much attention to one person, I wouldn't.
It's like whack-a-mole.
Right.
Yeah.
And there was one that I was clearly more attracted to than the other, and I didn't want the other one to know that I was more attracted to the one, so that I'd like, if I was paying too much attention, like have to go back and forth to the others.
Yeah, that's the thing that you have to worry about in a situation. Like if you're dating somebody and they're like, oh, we should...
Let's bring someone in.
Right. Like, absolutely not. Then no matter what,
said
you're
no.
Gonna be
I've always tried. Whenever
Really?
I've had a girlfriend. Yeah.
I don't know. No, I wouldn't do it. It's just you're going to get yourself in trouble no matter what you do. You can't. I mean, there's no way it's not going to turn out to be a problem.
Just the second your dick goes in.
Yeah. Excuse me. Like, all right, never mind. This was your idea.
It was literally your idea.
It's like the same thing. Like
Your best friend.
when you make a decision about which restaurant you want to go to, and then it's my fault that they don't have the shit you want on the menu.
Oh, of course.
It's like that. It's entirely that situation. So
Here's
were
the other thing.
Yeah.
I feel like on the podcast, I tend to say things like that more than you and Stav,
Say
because
things like
you have a girlfriend.
That's true.
And Stav, I don't know.
Stav's too fat to fuck.
He's too fat. No, that's.
I was like, I love when people like.
I literally talked about getting ganked by a sex slave.
Well, people, yeah,
Like on the podcast.
people give like feedback about the show, and sometimes they say I can't tell who's who.
Really?
And, yeah, and I'll be like, oh, Stav's the fat one. He's the one that you can hear.
Can you hear?
Can you hear that?
It's
He's
pretty obvious.
Yeah. That's the best part about having a fat friend is you get to make fun of him. You know?
I guess.
That's why you should.
I don't make fun of him for being fat, though.
Well, not to his face,
We do to you to
Yeah,
his face all the time.
I guess. But he gives, it's a give and take. I think that's fine. So we were prepared for this. We were a little bit worried that it would be kind of a struggle to fill.
Are we gonna?
Yeah. So we have leftover blow from last weekend, which I just wouldn't say outright if this were a regular episode, but it's a bonus episode.
Could the police find out about this?
No, dude, they're not allowed to donate to things.
If we
the
talk about
number one rule of police work is you're never allowed to donate to charity or help anybody. You only kill. You're born to kill.
So I guess we had leftover drugs from a couple weeks ago, and I brought it. I said maybe we could do it on the podcast. My inspiration was the only known recording session of John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Was they recorded this album?
Wait, what do you mean the only known recording? What about all of the Beatles?
Post-Beatles, sorry.
Oh.
Post-Beatles was in, I think, 1974. They recorded an album called A Toot and a Snore, A Toot and a Laugh, A Toot and something. And it was them. Basically, John Lennon moved to L.A., broke up with Yoko, got a different Chinese girlfriend, got addicted to coke, only wore white. And Paul McCartney came out, and they got studio space. It was them, Stevie Wonder, and Harry Nilsson. And you can actively hear them doing cocaine on the recording. There's a part where John Lennon offers Stevie Wonder coke.
So it's like they invented,
"Oh,
they
Stevie."
invented like the weed toke on the track.
Exactly.
With
That's
cocaine.
an homage. That's an homage. Every time we rip huge bangers, smoke huge spliffs on the pod, we're doing that for the Beatles. But yeah, there's a part where he's like, "Hey Stevie, you want a toot?" And he offers he offers a blow. Oh, and the music, by the way, is terrible.
Yeah,
It's
I would imagine
unlistenable.
it'd be.
Just
Have
like
you ever
this
heard-
podcast is about to be.
Right, and you know that what's the I don't know if it's like a Doors. I don't know that much about the Doors, but there's something that's not on a Doors album, and it's just Jim Morrison yelling, "You gotta fuck her in the ass," and it's like a song that he recorded.
No.
yeah. Some Jim
not real.
Morrison's like, no, it's real. It's just like, "You gotta fuck her in the ass."
Oh my god, my favorite poet.
I mean, the Doors music is already so fucking stupid to begin with.
Felix retweeted this thing. Did you see it? It was 3 photographs. The first is this is a drawing made by Jim Morrison when he was in middle school or something, and then it's a picture of the drawing, and then there's a quote on the drawing. Oh man, I should have had it prepared what it was, but it is so funny.
There is a light that never goes out by the
Well,
Okay, sorry.
yeah, no, that's not the way to do that.
I said,
Well, just explain it. You don't have to.
It
show
is
it.
it's one of my days off.
It's a picture of like a scary monster man with a spear, and then the sentence is, "It only hurts when I laugh."
Oh, that's cool, dude. He could have been like a Hot Topic buyer.
Oh yeah, he would have been so Hot Topic if he was like born.
No, he could have worked at Hot Topic corporate. I used to live with a guy that did that.
That like bought the shirts.
Dude, he worked his way up from Hot Topic, just regular retail employee, and he was so Hot Topic that they moved him to Los Angeles and made him like a buyer for the brand. And when I met this guy, he had the best style in the world because he would dress like the Joker, but only from the waist up. So
he just wear like jeans.
Well, yeah, from the waist down, it was like Kirkland brand jeans, and then like store brand hiking shoes, and then waist up, he would have like a vest, like a purple vest with a green tie and this red bowler hat. Yeah, he was a Hot Topic buyer.
So what time is it right now?
We are at 22 minutes. So that was
What time is it in the afternoon?
7:35 p.m.
Okay, so it's 7:35 p.m. We're gonna do these drugs. It's far too early to do drugs, I think.
Well, I can't stay up that long. I got shit to do tomorrow. So we're gonna take a break and then we'll be back, and you know what we're doing. So see you in a second. So you got Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire, Barry Bonds, and those are just three of the baseball players that I can name in succession.
That's what I would say.
I know. Welcome back, guys. So we're good. We're good to go.
We're good.
We're ready to have any.
I feel good.
I feel okay. Really nothing's changed.
Yeah, it really hasn't hit us yet. We're kind of playing.
Yeah, we thought it'd be funny to like riff it out, and then I started with a thing, and then it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, it didn't really go.
Adam just did yes weld me instead of a yes and. He did yes well. You go. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, how about
I had to judge one of those roast battles at the stand.
You did this week, right?
Yeah, I did this week. Evan Williams.
Was he good?
Yeah, Evan and Christy Cello were both like really fucking good.
She's so funny.
Yeah, they both did real well. The lead-in matchups were kind of like Andrew Collins and Lawrence something. They did all right, but Lawrence was getting in Andrew's face, which like would have worked if it had been, I think, two black guys, but it just kind of read weird, and then it was mostly white people in the audience, so they didn't understand his aggression, and it was just like his rhetorical style.
I feel like Andrew's more of like a story guy.
Well, Andrew's a better joke writer.
Yeah.
I mean, Lawrence didn't really prepare with jokes. He was just like, I'm gonna fuck you, grandma. Yeah.
All right,
like that kind of
round,
shit.
Let's go.
Yeah, and then like it was two other guys that had kind of okay jokes about each other, like two open micers, and then this guy and this girl who were both like new, because the guy I've never seen at all. I mean, I'm sure he's like new to town, and this girl Andrea, who I've seen like one time at Caroline's, who's like obviously just new to comedy or whatever, which is fine. It's whatever. But at one point, she said something to him, and his rebuttal was, well, I could say the same thing about you, which in the context of a roast battle is so fucking funny. And he just did it out of like being defensive or whatever. Yeah. Like if that had been his strategy the entire time, like anytime she said something and be like, well, I know you are, but what am I? I would have fucking voted for him.
They get mad if anyone like
fucks around with the format.
All comedies.
Yeah. Because me and Stav are like gonna compliment each other, but I know Stav had been writing for that shit for fucking days.
He was fronting like, I just came up with jokes before. He had them all like memorized.
No, I legitimately sat down for like
sip of that water.
Yeah, I legitimately sat down for like 4 hours and like wrote probably 20 jokes for that Stav roast battle beforehand. But I know Stav fucking prepared. He's not a guy. He doesn't not prepare.
4 hours and 20 jokes sounds like preparing.
He works hard. For a real big fat guy, he definitely works hard. That's the thing. You think fat people are
really hard.
You think they're lazy, but he's obviously not lazy because he worked at that shitty website for so long. That would kill me.
Oh, it's ground.
Yeah, to be working at that place and having to like
laugh at bad jokes.
Yeah, right. Laugh at bad jokes. I mean, he does it with us all the time, which is great. But
yeah. Well, that's why he's our friend.
Yeah, I know. But no, I mean he's our friend because he's funny, and we're He's funnier than anybody else at that company, I'd say.
Ground Floor Comedy.
Yeah, at that thing.
You mean child porn times?
Yeah. Child porn, extreme internet. That was the name of the place. Yeah. So, if you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in somehow, if you'd like to, like download. Yeah, I like to download a podcast and then just get started right about 3/4 of the way through. That's my move. I like to think that I'm like just flipping channels and I come across it. Who knows?
Unless you're listening to WTF with Mark Maron, you're not skipping the beginning of a podcast.
Right. I had an idea. I was saying my dream, and my dream, it'll never happen, but I really want, if I could sell a show, I want to have a show on IFC called Mark, where I don't ever say I'm Mark Maron, but I just act like him, and it airs for 5 minutes right before his show, and it's the same format and everything, where I'm like, what is this fucking bookstore? Who goes to this fucking place? Well, I guess I'm here, but I'm a fucking piece of shit, so it's just a piece of shit store, and then it's like, coming up next, Maron on IFC, and it's just
the same thing.
Yeah.
Stretched over 22.
Right, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I hear it's a good show, actually.
From who? From Mark?
From Mark Maron.
Yeah.
One of something I did a couple weeks ago was I woke up way too early to check my phone habitually and didn't go back to sleep because I read for like 2 hours from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Mark Maron arguing with Trump people on Twitter, and it is
fuck off, troll. Shut up, troll. You fucking idiot, troll.
I'm 55 years old, troll.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark Maron, so for the bonus thing, I wanted to just do. I wanted to just give Dickfield his own spin-off podcast. I haven't figured out how Dickfield comes back into existence yet. We were toying around with the idea of a portal opening to another dimension.
The dimension where he didn't die at Auschwitz.
Well, you ever see the TV show Sliders?
Yeah.
So, essentially, another universe version of Seth, and then that opens up the possibility of infinite Seths.
Oh yeah.
It's my favorite novel, Infinite Seth.
Infinite Seth. Yeah, by David Foster Wallace.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of a cool punny kind of.
Hey, we gotta be on, dude. We gotta be on. We're 5 minutes in. We got another 4.5 hours to go.
Woo! Where are we gonna have to call the guy, dude?
Which guy?
The drugs man.
Oh, the drugs man.
No. So, it's so funny when you do this drug. Like it's the point of drugs, right? Like after you're like 15 years old is to do them and act like you're not on them, right? So like if you ever smoke weed with a noob and they're like, "Oh, I am so baked," you're like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, dude. You're supposed to act like you're not high on weed." But this one for me is like the one where I extra try.
Well, that's because it costs so much fucking money that you never want to feel like you got ripped off. It'd be like, if you bought there's people out there driving like a fucking, like a Hyundai. Well, Hyundais aren't bad. Like they're driving a really piece of shit car that they spent a lot of money on. They're like, I love it. I love this car. This car's great. It's on fire. The children are dead in the back seat. They're like, this is the best car I've ever seen. I love it. It's great. And it's the same thing with this shit. I just spent $100.
Yeah, it's
I make $9.75 an hour. So this is the best drug I've ever had.
You got to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And the best line or bump or whatever is the first one of the night.
Yeah.
And then you drop off, you get energy, you drop off, you do another one, you never actually get to that same point.
I love the night always ends the same exact way with me in complete darkness, chewing a hole through my lip and playing Candy Crush, thinking about all the people I shouldn't have emailed.
Do you send emails?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I draft. There's a lot of shit that ends up in the draft folder, and the next day it's like, thank God.
One time I did cocaine with Englishman Chris Milner.
Yeah.
And it was the night Muhammad Ali died.
Oh, you told me the story. This is great.
We were doing lives and he emailed his dad because his dad loved Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
He wrote this really beautiful, heartfelt email, and it was just so funny. It's just like crushing emails, like doing rails, crushing it.
Yo, you know what I'm really good at email? when
Raw
I'm
after.
fucking lit, dude. When I hit the slopes, send some emails. So I was on this job with remember that guy Ed that we don't like?
Oh, that which guy?
The guy we worked with, Ed.
Oh, the like camera guy?
Yeah.
Oh, he was back?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
So
Someone married him? He's married?
he's married, I guess. But so I was bitching about him with this other guy we know, and he was like, nobody likes him. Nobody likes this guy, and he does the most obnoxious shit I've ever seen in my entire life. But he was complaining about something on the call sheet, and he was sending the complaints to the guy we know, and the way he was sending the complaints was with memes. He had a meme generator on his phone.
Horrible.
And he's
Horrible.
yeah, so it's like he's showing me. Here, I'll just show you the fucking text messages. You say something for 2 seconds.
What?
Talk about Syria.
Syria, someone I saw Randy Quaid, you know that guy?
Yeah.
He posted a picture that
Look, okay,
You know
forget
that-
about Randy Quaid. Look at the
sorry,
text.
yeah.
Look how obnoxious that is.
Wait, first of all, this is the guy from Futurama doing the like squinty sarcastic.
Yeah, it's Fry. It's the Fry meme.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Fry.
Not sure if an early call time helps me get out sooner tomorrow or screws me over with turnaround.
Yeah, and look at.
Not sure if we're rapping at 3 p.m. or 3 a.m.
Yeah. Imagine having to deal with that all day long from that guy.
Are you fucking
Having a coworker that will only communicate with you through memes.
He's the worst person in the world.
This is the worst thing I've ever seen.
That's egregious.
Yeah. So, should we talk about what Aleppo is for our Gary Johnson? I feel like everybody listens to this is voting for Gary Johnson.
Oh yeah, for sure. I feel like we definitely have some libertarian.
Yeah.
What's a libtard? Like, what's their retard term?
What, libertarian?
Libtard is liberal.
Libertarian?
Libertarian
Yeah.
is libertarian. It's a good one. Yeah.
Libertarian sounds like a zodiac sign.
Libertarian sounds like a
Well, my
like a
star sign is libertarian, but I was born in rising Cancer, so
it sounds like a planet that they.
I'm very aggressive, but I'm also passionate. I love how like all the horoscopes are like, well, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm actually the smartest person in the world, but I can also be emotional. It means to like people just fall in love with me, but I'm also a genius. That's what Sagittarius is.
Dude, I really could not give two shits about that, but if you're trying to get laid in New York City, you just have to listen to hours of nonsense about the zodiac.
I don't think I ever have.
What's your rising sign?
Yeah.
Please suck my dick. Please shut up.
Do people actually talk about? I don't think that's.
Girls love it,
I
dude.
think that's a weird. That's like a weird thing that Rob Reiner invented for his movies. Is that women like? That seems like.
Rob Reiner?
I feel like he all the stereotypes about relationships he came up with and created them through his films.
What, Spinal Tap?
No. When Harry Met Sally.
Direct Spinal Tap or Rob Reiner?
I don't fucking know. I think maybe Christopher Guest did, or maybe because that was the first movie with that whole ensemble cast. Yeah, so maybe it was Rob Reiner. But like like the When Harry Met Sally scene.
Yeah.
When they're like, women don't fake orgasms, and she's like, women fake orgasms all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Like people don't actually have that conversation.
That conversation?
Yeah, I don't think
People have that conversation all the time.
Also, I love that then she proceeds to do the fakest orgasm anyone has ever heard.
Right, we're
He's supposed to-
joking around about like how if she was just like, fuck my ass.
Yeah, fuck my ass. Fuck my ass. Finger my fucking ass. My filthy ass.
My pussy's so wet.
Yeah. Just in Katz's Deli.
I was at Katz's and my friend, I was eating there, and my friend said, look up, and there's a sign right above me, and they were like, this is where Meg Ryan Ryan faked an orgasm. There's like a sign hanging above one of the chairs. I sat in the fake orgasm chair, so pretty cool.
So it's like you fucked Meg Ryan.
Basically.
Have you seen how bad she looks now?
She looks bad.
She's gotten so much plastic surgery.
Ugh.
You know how like when those women that are just like they get so much plastic surgery that you see them and they're like, I'm finished, and they've just gotten all of it. Ding. Yeah, right, yeah, pretty much, dude. Because they all look the same. They all look like that bear cat. They have that big puffy cat face, but
It's
there's
sort of
also
puffy, because the collagen.
like a
and the
Care
lips.
Bear element to it.
Yeah, it's sort of froggy too. They kind of look like Pepe a little bit, like brown, like burnt Pepe.
Yeah, they should get whiskers.
Pepe.
They should get whiskers to go with the face.
Like Mr. Mistopheles,
Yeah, right.
play cats.
Mhm.
Man, do you do you like musicals?
You know, I say I don't because you're not supposed to, but
You're a man's man.
right.
Yeah.
But anytime I've actually been at a musical, I really enjoy it.
Me too.
My grandma's birthday like 2 years ago, my grandma or my grandfather and my mom took my grandma and me to go see the Fantastics. Is that even? That sounds like a made up like fucking fake musical
That was like
name.
a Pixar movie, wasn't it?
No, the Fantastic. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't a Pixar movie. It was a musical. I know I'm not confusing the two. It was live. It was like a live performance thing. I don't even remember what the fucking story was, but I enjoyed it. It was great.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I saw like I wish if I had enough money, I would definitely go see plays.
Oh, me too.
I went to see the what the fuck, the James Franco of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, Chris O'Dowd and James Franco.
On off Broadway or whatever.
Yeah, either on or off Broadway.
Whatever.
It was near Broadway.
Broadway.
Broadway adjacent. Yeah. What if, like, how far off Broadway do you have to be before it's off Broadway?
Off Broadway.
Yeah.
Secaucus.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the Morton Downey Jr.
Flush
show. The Morton Downey Jr. show could
Was an
technically be.
off-Broadway production.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like art house.
God, I wish he was alive.
Yeah, he's so great.
Yeah.
When I was doing that,
Trump before Trump, right?
of course.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was doing
the president.
when I was doing that Nicole shit, part of the canon was that Nicole's retarded son was actually fathered by Morton Downey Jr. She snuck and then I did the math on it, and she would have had to have fucked him like right before he died. So she snuck into a hospital. And
You saw the documentary, right?
yeah,
So they had like
the guy that directed that documentary, the guy that fucking put the whole thing together, he like follows and unfollows people on Twitter until you follow him.
really.
He's followed and unfollowed me like 3 times. Yeah.
Did you didn't follow him back?
Well, initially I did, and then I saw how many people like he followed, and I was like, oh, he's just I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Yeah.
So they had so remember how they go into like who his fan bases were. So it was like parents from the Midwest visiting New York.
Yeah.
Like agreed with his like populist policies. Right. Jersey trash.
Right.
And then the third were like Jewish high school boys
Yeah.
that are like got the irony.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're like, this is actually very funny.
Yeah.
And there was like a crew of them in the documentary, and one of them was the cook at my camp. And I had like no idea, but he was one of the Morton Downey Jr. heads. He was like there with all his friends, and I guess they're all still best friends.
That's crazy.
I mean, it sounds like the best high school experience. Like,
Speaking of cooks,
yeah.
somebody who like listens to the podcast hit me up, and they were like, I know you guys like Chapo already does movie reviews, but you guys really should do movie reviews.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I don't know, but he goes, you guys should really do like, somebody needs to cover like all those old action movies like Under Siege and shit. And I was literally watching Under Siege
It's one of my favorite movies.
while he messaged